I recently covered why Faze is so damn good in the Friday Fortnite tournaments. They are definitely the best, but whenever there is a best, there is always someone behind them. Today we're going to be covering why TSM hasn't quite been able to have the success that Faze Clan has had in Friday Fortnite. We're going to be taking a look at last week's finals between TSM and Faze Clan, and I'm going to tell you guys in depth the two major reasons why TSM lost to Faze. Now before we get into these two reasons, I just want to make it clear, TSM is an amazing team, and if they are able to fix these mistakes, they could easily put up a better fight against Faze and maybe even win. So let's go ahead and jump into that first mistake, and it is TSM's early game. Now as I mentioned in the video about Faze, early game is massive, guys, and I'm not talking about when you land. I'm talking about when you get on that island at the very beginning of the game. Just looking at their early game communication and decisions that TSM makes, then comparing it to Faze is worlds apart. Let's just go ahead and take a look at it, and you guys will see exactly what I'm talking about.
4 games, 2 dubs. I mean, we gotta win 2 series.
Shots don't miss, boy. Shots don't miss. The whole clip.
I've been shooting whole clips. I've been shooting whole clips. Alright. Alright, bro. Wanna toss it up? Wanna toss it up Pleasant?
I'm down.
Let's do it, bro.
What house?
Dog.
Now I know, guys, that's a really long clip, but it just shows how unprepared TSM is in their early game. They were warming up their aim, I get that, but you also have to take a look at the map and dissect it a little bit more. Myth waited 29 seconds on that island before he opened up the map once. Then very late they decided they do want to go Pleasant, which is fine, but they weren't really looking at the bus and how many people were dropping. TSM needs to scout better early on so that in the middle and late games they are more prepared. Now this leads me to TSM's second major mistake, and it's in the middle game. It's their rotations. Throughout the entire finals, TSM definitely had some questionable rotations, and a lot of it led back to their early game. Let's go ahead and look in depth at the very first rotation of the entire series. So the exact scenario here is that TSM just finished out clearing Pleasant Park. They have 3 kills, and Faze Clan cleared out Shifty Shafts faster than TSM cleared out Pleasant, so they are going to get to Tilted way faster than TSM ever can. This means TSM has to make a decision here. Do we go to Tilted Towers where Faze Clan is going to have a 20-30 second advantage over us and probably kill the team at Tilted before we can even get there? And this could even lead to TSM being behind Faze for the rest of the game, which would be very bad, because let's go back and look at the original bus route and see where a lot of squads would probably land. So this is a pretty generic route here, straight down the middle. There's going to be a lot of teams north, south, east, and west. But the thing is, TSM and Faze both dropped on the west side of the map. This means after they clear out their first towns, Pleasant and Shifty, there's going to be less people on the west. And then definitely after Faze clears out Tilted, west is probably going to be cleared unless there's like one team Greasy Grove, Snobby Shores, or Soccer Field, which is possible, but it's very clear there's going to be a ton of players on the east side of the map, especially if you look at all of the big drop spots close to the bus route on the east side. There's Anarchy, Dusty, Loot Lake, Salty Springs, Fatal Fields, Lucky Landing, Flush Factory, and even possibly Tomato Town and Retail Row. Whereas on the west side we have Pleasant Park cleared, Shifty Shafts cleared, Tilted Towers about to be cleared, and then there's other towns where there could be teams, but not a lot. So if you're in TSM shoes here, you would know, alright, Faze is going to get to Tilted quicker than we are, so we should make the smarter decision based on where the bus dropped, and go towards Loot Lake, maybe cut off the team from Anarchy, head over towards Dusty Divot, cut off teams there, possibly even get to Salty before Faze gets out of Tilted. And this will leave Faze wanting to go to the east side, and they'll be behind TSM. The problem is, though, TSM doesn't know this, because this leads back to the early game where they did not take the same precautions that Faze Clan does by looking at how many teams drop where, dissecting the map, and figuring out where they need to rotate. Because of this, they dug themselves a hole, and in the middle of the game, their rotations just completely suck. And they got to Tilted late, Faze cleared up most of the kills before they got there, and then Faze had the jump going over to the east side. And at this point, it doesn't matter how good your building is, it doesn't matter how good your aiming is. You're just not going to find as many squads as Faze will. And this is exactly why TSM lost. The good thing though, as we mentioned already, is these are easy mistakes to fix. They just have to be a little bit more aware early on and think about their options when it comes to rotating. If they can get better at those areas, the aiming and the building will really shine, and these guys can get a ton of kills. Do you think if TSM cleaned up some of these mistakes, they could win Friday Fortnite Week 10? Be sure to leave a reply down below letting us know. And that's going to be it, guys. Do not forget to tune in for Week 10 of Friday Fortnite.